So I have kind of an interesting dilemma here. This video is going to be quite a spoiler because I have been filming videos way in advance, and the footage of this hunt and these finds in more depth is probably going to be upwards of a month in advance. So this is going to be quite a spoiler. But it's something that I wanted to ask because I just wasn't sure about this situation. So, to give you a little backstory, when I was at my local Chase, they told me that they had gotten a box of nickels and a box of pennies, and I presume they're from different people. I'm gonna just assume for now that they're from different people, because and the tellers told me that they didn't think they were searched, and I had hunted the pennies, and it turns out that I think the pennies were searched because there were no Wheaties. There was still copper, and there were some Canadian coins, but that's not uncommon for people in my area. So the pennies were definitely searched, but the nickels, I'm not so sure. And I'm torn about it because I was thinking about it, and I was like, because the teller was saying that, it's likely they're from a business, right? But I was thinking about it because the nickels they came in a nickel box, right? And they all came like that in the box. And I was wondering, like, why would these come from a business, right? If a business was going to return an entire box of nickels, you would think they would just, they maybe didn't need it and just returned it and, left it in the machine wrap wrappers. But you would think if they had gotten an entire box from the Garda truck, you would think that they wouldn't have the nickels anymore, right? You'd think that they'd distribute them to a business. And which makes me more inclined to say that these, it's because, it's still possible these are from a CoinRaw hunter. And just to give you a little, I don't want to spoil too much, but there were 6 nickels in the 30s. There were 8 semi-keyed 8s, which is definitely not normal, but still, it's still completely possible that someone who hunted coins was just extremely picky and only kept out the buffaloes and the silvers and the proofs, because those were the thing, those are the easiest things to spot, right? Or maybe it's possible that they were just looking too fast. I don't know, but I'm curious, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think that, these nickels that came like this, do you think that this was just a coin collector that was picky about what they kept? Or do you think that this was from a business, or maybe from another person somehow? It seems weird that, any regular person would just have $100 in nickels on them unless they were a hunter. So let me know what you think, guys. I'm leaning towards that these are hunted, but let me know.